Also known as Ficus elastica, belongs to Moraceae family. It is native of eastern parts of South and Southeast Asia. It has different varieties and patterns in it, ranging from green to pink in variegation. In its natural habitat, when it grows on the ground, it grows 25 plus feet taller. Hey guys, this is Sheetal from Life with She. Welcome to my channel. I hope you all are doing great, and today I have got care of this beautiful plant. It's super easy, best plant for beginners. If you are starting your gardening journey now, then this is the best choice for you, and it offers many different colors like green. I have this burgundy, I have this tineke, which is variegated one. You get one in pink variegation as well. You get many varieties, many colors and many patterns in this plant. First of all, let's see how big it can grow. If you are giving it proper conditions indoors, then it can grow from 6 feet to 10 feet taller. Yes, it can grow till 10 feet taller inside, indoors. And when you grow it on the ground, of course there is no limit for its growth. It grows 25 plus feet taller. Maybe it can grow till 40 feet taller as well. If you want to cover your vertical place in your house, then this is the best plant for you. Guys, now let's see what are the favorable conditions for this rubber plant or Ficus elastica. I'll talk about light requirement first, and I'm going to share my own experience with you all. I ordered this one. This is my first rubber plant. This I ordered recently. So when I ordered this one, I had made a plant haul video as well. I will be sharing the link of it. And I received this plant and I placed it somewhere where it doesn't receive that much of proper light. It's kind of low light area in her house, and this plant stayed there, and initial 4-5 months it did not shoot a single leaf. It did not show any new growth. It was surviving, but it did not put any new growth. So after observing it for 4-5 months, I shifted it, and I shifted it to the bright indirect light place where it received bright indirect light as well as a little direct sunlight also in the evening. So now this is doing great. From here it grew till here. So basically rubber plant needs bright indirect light. I'm going to tell you the signs plant will give you if it is not receiving proper light. First thing, as I said, it will stop growing. It won't show any growth. It will go in dormancy, you can see. And another sign is it grows leggy. You will get to see more stem than leaves, and gap in the two leaves will be more. Then it starts losing the shine. If you can see the shine on its leaves, it starts losing its shine. It becomes very dull, and it starts losing its older leaves. It will start dropping its older leaves. So these are the signs your plant is not receiving proper light. So you have to change its light condition, and your plant will do great. It will thrive. Let's move on to the next requirement, soil requirement. This plant loves well-drained soil. So your plant's soil mixture should be garden soil plus compost plus perlite, more quantity of perlite. If you can see my soil, it consists more perlite, and you should add coco peat as well in your soil because it loves moist soil. I'll tell you what is moist soil. When you touch the soil of your plant, it should feel wet to your hands, but it should not retain much of a water. It should not be sitting in the water. This plant doesn't like to sit in the water. So soil should be moist but well drained at the same time. It should drain out all the excess water. What kind of temperature this plant loves to stay? It thrives in 18 to 27 degrees Celsius temperature. It loves that temperature. But temperature should not drop below 12 degrees centigrade. Then this plant will not do all that great. And during winters you can keep it. If you are keeping it outdoors, you can bring it indoors during winters, or as outdoors you can cover it with some cloth or something at night when it's pretty cold outside. Ficus elastica rubber plant is a humidity loving plant. It loves humidity a lot in its surrounding air, but still, even if it is humidity loving, it does great in normal house conditions as well. If you can see, I don't use any humidity fire or anything for them, but still they are doing great. Let's see how much water this beauty needs. If it is summer, then you will find yourself watering this plant twice or once at least in a week. And during winters, it can go like once or twice in a month. It depends on the climate. What signs you will see from the plant to water it. First sign is you can just dip your finger inside like 2 inches, minimum 2 inches inside deep, and check if soil is completely dry till 2 inches, then that means your plant needs water. You can go ahead and water your plant. Another thing, this plant starts drooping its leaves. It droops its leaves, and that's the best sign to water your rubber plant. But do not overwater your plant. If you overwater your plant, then also your plant will tell. It will start turning its leaves yellow, older leaves basically. It will start its older leaves turning yellow, and it will start falling off. They will turn yellow and fall off. Even after you ignore the sign from the plant and you continue overwatering this plant, then it's going to start rotting its roots. So better not to overwater your plant. Let's talk about its fertilization needs. This plant goes dormant in winter. That time you don't have to fertilize this plant. But during summer and monsoon, it's its growth period. And during this growth period, you should fertilize it really well. At least every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you should fertilize this plant with some good liquid fertilizer, or else you can go for compost as well. But it needs proper fertilization during its growth times. Frankly speaking, I haven't seen a single pest on my plants, but it might get infected by aphids or scale insects or mealybugs, and simple solution is just make diluted solution of neem oil or alcohol and just wipe off the leaves. And you should keep its leaves clean all the time. This is very important for your plant's growth, because dust particles, they block stomata which are present on the leaves of plant. These dust particles will block it, because of which your plant can't breathe and it slows down the photosynthesis process. So if you want your plant to grow bigger and faster, then you should keep its leaves all the time clean. How I clean my plant's leaves? I usually make a solution with neem oil, liter of warm water. I mix 5 ml of neem oil into it, and I just spray that oil on the leaves and I just wipe off the leaves. So it keeps the leaves clean as well as insects free. Is this plant toxic? Is it pet and kids safe? This plant is mildly toxic. If you break its leaves, you can see white sap in the plant, and that sap is mildly toxic. If it touches your skin, it can cause skin irritation, and if it ingested, in that case it can cause vomiting and throat irritation as well. So please keep your pets and kids away from this plant. I'm going to tell you one interesting fact about this plant. Why it is named rubber plant, do you know? I said that white sap. In earlier days, they used to use that white sap to make latex. That's why this plant is named rubber plant. So that was it for this beauty. I hope you liked my video and you find it useful. So I will take your leave. Thank you so much.